Whoa, it's very funny, guys. Things that define Africans. Things that define Africans, guys. You know, it's the funniest thing that I want to discuss today. Africans are defined by a few things. And these few things, you laugh, guys. Please subscribe to this channel, Never HTV. Africans are defined by weird ways, weird ways that you are even ashamed of talking about. It's growing up and it's still happening today that Africans are defined by urinating behind the house. An African will always go, in the villages. A Kenyan, let me talk of a Kenyan. No, it's an African. An African will always urinate behind the house. Let's say you are just inside. Let me tell you, I'm going to define the things that Africans do, and you're going to tell me whether you relate with them. If you're an African, do you relate with these things? Do you relate with urinating behind the house? People, even during the day, you'll see somebody just leave the function that is going on and will just go behind the house and is going to urinate. Especially men. They like urinating just behind the houses. And you'll see a man go very, very fast. There's a function that is going on, and you'll find him excuse him. You'll not excuse himself, you just see him walk out and go behind the house and urinate. That's an African man. How about with African women? And I don't know why I feel like whenever I'm talking to you, I feel like some each is this does this define an African woman? Always touching the nose when speaking. Does that define an African woman? No, that is not one of them. That is me. Please subscribe to this channel. We discuss issues of life here. And guys, this is Never Age TV. It's good to subscribe. We grow together. Now, this defines me. Touching my nose defines me. All the time I find myself touching my nose. But the African man, or an African in general, is defined by urinating behind the house. You'll see an African woman just, even in the evenings when you are in those African homes where toilets are not inside, and they're just like just a distance away from the house in the village. An African woman will just also leave the house at about in the evening, like in the night. And instead of dropping down to the toilet where it is built, eh, that lady is going to just stand behind the house and urinate there. And you wonder, do these people know that the urine smells very badly, even especially when the sun rises the following morning, where you urinated yesterday? Have you ever walked behind in a back street in the city? There are some back streets that people urinate in the back street. And if you happen to pass in between some big buildings, some tall buildings in the city, not tall, some buildings in the city, the path in between the two buildings, sometimes there's some space. And you find people using those spaces as shortcuts to the next street. And that is where people urinate in the city, in the big cities, like in Nairobi. People urinate in those back streets. And let me tell you, when you are passing through there, the smell of urine and even the mapping on the ground. Urine will dry, but it will not dry in a way that it will not just dry. It will leave some mapping on the soil, some map. It doesn't dry to a point of dust. It dries, yes, but leaves that moisture like shape on the ground. Look at me now touching myself again. I like touching my nail. I don't know whether it is an allergy or what. I keep feeling like is it because I'm talking about urine? Guys, I don't know. But guys, this is funny because urine will always form a map on the ground. And guys, you are there and you are walking in a back street or passing between two buildings in the city. You want to go to the back street and this is a shortcut. You'll get to know that smell. You'll just feel not to know. You'll smell that. Urine smell does not just go. It doesn't go. Now, when you urinate behind your house in the village, what do you think happens? In fact, what happens is that that place will always smell, and it is your home. It is your home. Yet you urinated last night. You had urinated the previous day. Your brother did it. Your mom at one time when she was cooking ugali, just sneaked out like this, and the next thing you had was like, "Porr," that sound behind your door, your kitchen. That sound of somebody urinating, it is awkward, but we grew up that way and we never thought it was bad. But we used to know that because we have not urinated inside the house, then we are okay. But coming to think of the smell that emanates from behind there where we used to urinate, you just ask yourself, my God, why did this why was this happening to us? Why didn't we think then like we think today? That smell of urine is very, very awkward. It's very bad. And guys, did you do these things? Did you do these things when growing up? Right? Like just sneaking behind your house and urinating there when there's a toilet just a few meters away. A toilet never used to be very far from the main house, from the house or from the kitchen. The kitchens used to be outside the main house. So it could have been either behind your kitchen or behind your main house. Guys, did you do these things? If you did them, raise your hands. Please subscribe to this channel. Let's discuss the next habit tomorrow. See you guys. Bye. Subscribe.